know our group, some of them, they don't really enjoy that sort of thing. And and she said it's because they're nervous, they're afraid. And I can remember years ago in our center in Florida, we had the most amazing gal who was a musician. Her name was Suzanne. And Suzanne, she could sing like nobody's business and play the guitar, and she could reach pitches, and I mean, she was amazing. And someone new would come in and she'd be strumming around and she'd get right in your face and start saying, I mean, the fear and the sweat. People would be like, why are you doing this to me? Well, a lot of those people we never saw again. Needless to say, it was a bit overwhelming for some. And so it's always interesting, and it's all good. And I'm here to try to, I don't know why this did this. Excuse me for 1 second. Okay, here we go again. Just give me 12 seconds here, maybe not even. Totally has a mind of its own. Okay, oh, I see the problem. Okay, I'm getting there. Now, we'll tell you when no, that's not it. I haven't lost it, so that's good. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to have to live on the terms of this computer. Okay, it's winning. Okay, so I'm just going to I need my glasses on. So today, it's this afternoon's workshop is really, that one voice, that one sound, there is so much power in music and that collective voice and, being able to sing. And as I mentioned earlier with Suzanne, although she was very threatening to some people, she did strike a chord in people one way or another, fear or love, let's say that. But anyway, it is powerful, and it's time for us to not be afraid to sing out and speak out, and really not be afraid to get out and share our voice, share our love and our power. Well, I have to say that in 1993, I opened my center in Florida, the Palm Beach Center for Living. It was 11 years. It was a good ride. It was not an easy ride. It was a great center. A lot of good things happened. And then after I closed it, which we did something interesting, we closed it at its peak. People are like, because I'm like, this is just too much, the stress. I can't do this anymore. No one was really wanting to pick it up because it was a tough thing to do. But I moved up here, swore off doing a center, and here we are. But this one's not so, it's a whole different ball game because I took all the stuff I learned down there and brought it here. And yes, I've had my share of lessons, but it's a great ride. And last week, I have to say, with the years I've been up here, which is 11, Ellen and I moved up here 11 years ago, and then the center in Florida, probably one of the most wonderful experiences in all that time was our membership Sunday last week. To see each and every one of you all come up here and make that commitment to our center and the aspects of what membership really means. And it's about coming together and say, yes, I am in and I am here to make sure that this center thrives and prospers, and I want to make sure that everyone in this community is cared for and loved and supported. And it was awesome. I've been thinking about it all week. It's really a beautiful experience, and we've got a strong foundation. I talked about that foundation on stone rather than sand, and we've really got some good footing now to move forward. And I have no idea what is to come. I really don't, except, I don't know about you guys, but this has been I'm feeling the energy of this eclipse, this Lion Gate, all of it. Am I alone in this?
No.
I have no reason really the couple of days this week, I was beyond agitated. I was just ready to jump out of my skin, and for no reason. It wasn't like there was a lot going on. I mean, my life always has a lot going on, but it was definitely an energetic thing. And then, of course, you know, just all this that we're hearing in the media, and it's that for some reason I can stay pretty neutral. But I'm thinking, wow, there is some shaking, rattling, and rolling happening on the planet. And this eclipse, I think, has huge significance. And it's all about how we enter into it and stay in it that's going to co-create our future existence. Well, you know, I do like to, I thought this quote was cute. It says, political problems are much like marriage vows. They're made at the beginning of the relationship between candidate and voter, but they're quickly forgotten. So I sort of feel like that these vows, these commitments that we've made, you know, politically, many of those have been broken. And I'm not putting it on this administration. It's always the case. You know, you watch the leading up to the elections, and you're feeling like, oh yeah, that's everything I want to see happen. And then it's like, whoa, what happened? Nothing. It's moving in a different direction. Well, I think at this time, it's time that we say what we mean and mean what we say in everything we do. You know, our words, our voice is so powerful. And sometimes it's not an easy thing. It's not about telling, it's about telling the truth, living in truth. And I don't think we're taught or programmed to do that. We're taught to just say what we think people want to hear. And sometimes that's not the most high place to come from. So mean what you say, or say what you mean and mean what you say, and live by those words. Well, I do the Schumann resonance. Have you all been following this? Who knows about this? Okay, the Schumann resonance. Well, I'll tell you what it is. I got introduced to this probably when Greg came here the first time, Greg Braden, I don't know, 2008, something like that. He was talking about that, and he used the Schumann resonance. Let me read about this. It says it summarizes summarizes the information presented in the spectrogram calendar and illustrates dynamic changes occurring in the resonances region of the magnetic field. Power is the sum of the power of all frequencies detected by the sight magnometer from 0.32 to 36 hertz and calculated every hour. So really, I read somewhere that the Schumann resonance is the heartbeat of Mother Earth. That's really what it is. And it picks up, the HeartMath Institute has all these stations all over the world planted, and they send these satellites, and they're able to track the magnetic field. If you go to the heartmath.org website, you can actually join what they call the Global Coherence Initiative, GCI, and you can watch and see where the magnetic, they have just like a live stream. Well, this resonance has been off the charts this week. I mean, when I say off the charts, it's like, you know, I think 7.2 is the heartbeat of Mother Earth, and the resonance, according to some, has been up in the hundreds. So there's definitely some vibes happening out there. And when Greg did this presentation, it was, I think, around 2008, he showed the chart, and he actually went back to 9/11 and showed how actually prior to the 9/11 incident, the energies had spiked as well. So there's definitely something to it, okay? I'm not saying we're gonna have a 9/11, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying let's spike it in love, let's spike it in, you know, this awakening that we're all here to co-create. But it's certainly something to be aware of and to participate in creating that which we choose to create, not being a victim of what seems to be happening in the world today. So today's frequency, as I said, I just checked this morning, it's over 40 hertz, okay? So it's still high today. But it's time for us to say, okay, what can we do to move forward in this crazy, crazy world? I'm excited about this eclipse for the reason that I think that it's an opportunity for us to just shake it all out. I don't think we're at the point now where we can hang on to these old belief systems and paradigms and ideas and go very far with it. It's not what this is about. So every message, if you listen to the message of, some of the people sending, channeling or receiving messages, they're not necessarily negative. It's all in perspective. But I think that the common theme that's coming through a lot of people is turbulence and reawakening. And that even though that we're in the midst of a lot of shaking, rattling, and rolling, that if we stay in our heart, if we really, that place we spoke of in meditation, and we experience that core of who we are, that light, that spark, that soul, if we can stay there, that is totally unaffected by anything happening. And that, I think, maybe all the stuff that doesn't serve love needs to crumble. For us to emerge into this new paradigm of living, this new consciousness, if we're holding on to the old stuff, we're putting that veil up between us and the new earth, the new world. Maybe that eclipse is a veil. It's like we're going to see the veil come down and then we're going to see it lift. And isn't that exciting? But it's fearful. It can be scary. A lot of people are scared, like what's happening. And, it could be lots of things people are afraid. They're afraid for their children. They're afraid for their health. They're afraid for the Mother Earth. They're afraid for their finances, whatever it is. But in truth, we're going to always be taken care of. And no matter what, we're okay. We're eternal beings. We are that light. But I think this is even bigger than that. Take that light, come from that place, and just be that holder of love and peace on the planet. And so the heart math talks about coherence, okay? And it's really about, and this is the cool thing about heart math, is it's been scientifically documented and proven that this stuff works, okay? Greg speaks of it all the time. He's spoken for years and years and years. Howard Martin, he's the spokesperson for heart math. He's been here on a number of occasions. Great guy. And they have the little biofeedback, you put the thing on your finger and you can just get into this resonance, with your heart and breathing, and then you can actually see your heart go from this to peace. And so that's what it's about, is that pause when we get it caught up in the, when I get into that agitation and that, just take that pause, take that breath. Maybe I got this from Howard, but I find it very helpful, is when I'm upset, is just close my eyes and put my hands over my heart, because that will put your energy in that region of your body, which is the heart is where it's all at, if you don't know. I know John Dumas, who was here for this past week, he did 2 events here. The meditation he did, Shamanic Journey, he's really into whales, okay? And he can make whale sounds with the flutes. It's very cool. Well, one thing that I found out is whales, one reason they're so spectacular and powerful is they have a 500-pound heart. Can you imagine? A 500-pound heart. And, that's just the resonance from that, when you're in that energy, and the healing the healing energy of whales is so powerful. He lives in Hawaii. So, and of course that whole region, I'm sure those whales are working overtime, just blasting love out right now. But so it is about, it's a state when your heart and mind become one, your emotions become neutralized. We're not spiking our emotions, sad, whatever. you're just at peace. You know, it's really about being in this world, not of it. Emotional balance. Years and years ago, what were we taught? There was always emphasis on having a high IQ, intelligence quotient, okay? And if you were really smart, if you had that high IQ, yet then back 20, 25 years ago, there was something that was even more important than an IQ, and it was an EQ, EI, emotional intelligence, okay? So emotional intelligence, the people that are most successful in this world, and I'm not talking about monetary, but the people who walk in this world on purpose and passion, they have a high emotional intelligence, meaning that they're able to keep their emotions nice and stable. They get in, even if they're in the midst of a traumatic situation or a tough business deal or whatever, they're able to keep that state of peace. Being a former athlete, if I would have let my emotions, every time I missed a shot playing golf, if I would have let my emotions get the best of me, I would have never played a lick any good, So it was like, okay, you miss a shot, you take the breath and you move to the next one. And so is life, as is life. So that emotional equivalent or intelligence is so important. So what we really need to do is pause when you recognize first, I'm not at peace. The Course in Miracles says, I must have decided wrongly because I'm not at peace, but I can choose again. And that's what it's all about. When this stuff's coming here from all directions, rather than be tempted to judge and condemn and attack and get fearful, pause, take a breath, and focus on your heart. And then just seeing the whole entire universe showered in that love. Bruce Lipton, who's another fabulous teacher, a doctor a physician who's actually, he's talking about, he's really the pioneer of quantum medicine. Understanding that really we're the creators of our health, not at the effect of it. And we need to address our wellness from a quantum level, energetic level. Dr. Oz says the future of medicine is energetic medicine. Well, Bruce says the moment you change your perception, you rewrite the chemistry of your body. I think we've all probably heard over years that and Louise Hay really started that movement back in the 80s, 70s even, that writing her book, You Can Heal Your Life. And for every illness, there was a mental cause. And I think at the core, we all do, if we look at the emotional aspect of our life and the relationship, we can heal it. Stress is huge for me. I get stressed and I get sick in the past, no more. And so certain things mean I have an issue in my lower back. But knowing that I am safe and I am protected and I have all I need will allow that to elevate. It's, just like I can feel in the beginning with our opening song, I can feel the resonance, lift. The joy is healing us. I look around the room and I see everyone smiling and clapping and waving their hands, and that to me is part of the healing process. Joy is a great tool for healing. But I also want to add one thing. So the moment, as Bruce says, the moment we change our perception, we rewrite the chemistry of our body. But I'd like to add to that, we rewrite the chemistry of the entire universe, because we're not separate. We're not separate from anything, anyone at all. So since we're all one, every time I choose love over fear, North Korea gets a little bit of that love, our government gets a little bit of that love, they're getting a little bit of that love up in Charlottesville and all over the world. So I don't have to go out here and fix anything. It's all about me just rewriting my chemistry. That's how we heal the world. So the couple of things in closing. This is a great statement here, and it says, we live in a world where everything is connected. We can no longer think in terms of us and them. Today, it is all about we, not me. It's about we. And when we get it, it's about we. We're the microcosm of the universe here at Namaste. But that love and connection that we feel here is possible in the universe. Let's just say Mother Earth, okay? So every time we choose we over me, or choose love over fear, choose not to judge, but to love, the elevation of consciousness is not only felt by us, but every being on the universe. So we need to commit to oneness, commit to our heart, commit to that new world of peace. And everyone thinks of changing, the world, but rarely do we think of changing ourselves. We're too busy out here pointing. But I will retract on that a little bit. Not this group. I preach to the choir here because you guys get it. And we all get it. But what are we doing with it? It's really about living it. And you all do a great job of that too. We're all doing a really good job here, and I'm really thrilled about that. And so the last thing I'm going to say is live. This is from Yogananda. Be present, but live each moment completely, and the future will take care of itself. Fully enjoy the wonder and the beauty of each moment. So if we can just stay present in love, that's the greatest gift we can offer to the world at this time. Peace prevails on earth, and so it is. Namaste.